Hello again, this is Dr. Deborah. Sometimes I think sleep for me is a way that God can communicate with me because almost every morning I wake up with something on my mind that is interesting. And here's one of those interesting things. I have a friend who's atheist slash agnostic, mostly agnostic, he says, but was a believer growing up, turned atheist, turned agnostic. And I have to honestly say, when I first met him, he was more atheist. Over the past 7 years I've been knowing him, he's more agnostic. And he questions my belief in God primarily because there's no proof, he says, of it, no empirical proof. I never argued with him about that. I never argued with him about anything pertaining to what he believes because that's what he believes. And one thing I ended up having to say to him, because basically, and I say this all the time, he don't appreciate me saying it because I'm old enough to be his mother. He once told me I was an idiot for believing in God, and that was fine with me because I was fine. But I had a conversation with him in front of my class once because I wanted to show them how you respond to people that antagonize you or people who have problems with you, how you deal with it. And as I talked and tried my best to not be defensive, because if sometimes it's not easy, I finally said to him something that I've always thought the whole time I've been knowing him and having these conversations is, this works for me. This works for me. And then I posed the question before, and I can't remember who I asked this question of, but I woke up with this question in my mind. What if it were all a lie? What if there was no resurrection? What if there was that Jesus was a myth that's taken from some African tradition because he's done the homework? All of that, just all of it, just nothing. It's a lie. It's not true. What would you do differently? What would you do differently? Could you live with that? Or would you go jumping off a cliff or off a building or something like that because there was no hope? I don't know, but that's what some people do when they find themselves in a situation where they are lost. And I wouldn't trade nothing for this. You can tell me, God can tell me it's a lie, and I'm cool. And the reason why I'm cool is because, first of all, it works for me. But the other thing is, I cannot imagine living with any other kind of way, believing any other kind of way. And this has less to do with God and the sky and the Spirit of God, but what this kind of life and this kind of faith has done for me as a person. I'd much rather have this kind of peace than any other kind. It works for me. It works for me. So it could be a lie. I can find out it's totally all made up, and I do the same things that I've been doing because, again, peace is better than hopelessness. Joy is better than sorrow and depression. At least it is for me. And so as we think about what today means for so many of us and what today means for so many other of us, I ask you the question, what would you trade for this? What would you do differently if you found out that there was no resurrection indeed? What would you do? How would you handle that? And how would your life be different? I wanted to say, in my own judgment, how would your life be better? Because it might be for you. And that's all I got to say today about that. Until next time, this has been Dr. Deborah, and how you loving?